This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Introduction. Hunting and gathering were one of the ancient practices in human history. Society regarded hunting and gathering as a form of hobby, trade, or simply as a method of obtaining food. Hunting and gathering were widespread, especially in densely populated forests because these areas were inhabited by animals and wild fruits. However, the trend of hunting and gathering has changed in present times. Perhaps it can be attributed to people's evolving lifestyles. This paper explores how hunting has transformed from native years to the present. It explores in detail whether the practice has become more of a game or simply a sporting activity. How hunting and gathering has changed from its native years. According to Maisels, early man was more likely to be a scavenger than a hunter. He could feed on the remains of animals that died of natural causes or were killed by predators. For over 500,000 years, hunting and gathering were the only means of survival for early man. The hunter-gatherer communities were forced to be always on the move since some areas produced foods seasonally due to variations in climatic patterns. Natural rocks and trees provided them with shelter. More than 80,000 years ago, the revolution started to take place, and early man invented old-age tools such as bone harpoons, fishing nets, and hooks. Besides these tools simplifying the work of obtaining food, they aided in promoting sporting activities. Men were primarily hunters while women were gatherers in most communities, but in some communities, women were also allowed to hunt. These communities lived in clusters based on their tribes and kinship. They adopted a democratic and non-hierarchical system of governance. In addition, shared and exchanged resources besides creating space for leisure activities, as affirmed by Maisels. Agricultural practices were implemented 10,000 years ago, and it has since played a vital role in the replacement of hunting and gathering as a way of livelihood. However, some communities have not adopted it in its entirety, as some communities are still hunters and gatherers. The continued demand for land for agricultural practices led to the integration of more hunter-gatherer communities and innovative agricultural measures. The communities which were not able to adapt were forced to flee the scene. The hunter-gatherer communities uprooted any plant deemed inappropriate for their consumption to create space for the growth of consumable plants and shelter for wildlife. In the modern society, hunting and gathering are still practiced by agriculturalists. For instance, hunting is carried out during the winter season. Evolution of hunting and gathering methods. Sharp stones. Early man used sharp stones for hunting, and with the development of new hunting strategies, man invented new tools for hunting, such as arrows, bows, and spears, which simplified hunting for fast-moving and wild animals. Animals. The dogs were domesticated and used for persistent hunting. They were good in aspects fit for hunting, such as a good sense of scent and sight. They could intelligently flush out the target from its hiding place and pace in order to hold it. They were also used since they are able to attack and kill some dangerous and difficult-to-trap animals. In India, the elephants were used to pursue the extremely dangerous animals such as the tigers due to their large sizes. The horses were also used in the United Kingdom due to their ability to run fast. The elites used the war chariots to hunt lions. Gunpowders and rifles. These tools were commonly used when hunting bigger animals, which were perceived as threatening. The rifles and gunpowders were and still are used to kill and net predators such as lions and tigers, which are regarded as man-eating beasts. With the use of gunpowder, safety and health regulations have to be adhered to because of environmental hazards. Hunting and gathering, sport or game. In ancient times, hunting was seen as a sport for the rich and famous. According to Hummel, hunting was encouraged as relaxation to facilitate the elites in the society to develop their fighting skills. In our modern times, hunting and gathering have evolved, thus, it is more of a sport than a game. Some governments, for example, countries in the Eastern Africa region, have established laws that simplify this sport. For example, governments allow a specific season whereby animals such as axis deer, blackbuck, nilgal, and fallow deer are hunted. However, laws and regulations limiting hunting have also been effected. This is to curb illegal hunting and to control and protect endangered species such as rhinos and wild birds. These laws have been effected through bans on specific species of animals and control of hunting seasons. Nevertheless, the dog has still remained an accomplished animal during sport hunting. This is due to its persistence in hunting techniques and skills. Moreover, tourism has contributed to the modernity of hunting sports. As a form of relaxation, they visit game reserves and game parks and participate in hunting. Bird shooting has also attracted many enthusiasts. This has made countries such as the United Kingdom come up with strategies for breeding species of birds specifically for hunting sports. Also, in the United States, the government has taken initiatives to streamline the sport. This has been through purchasing of land and providing hunting training to lovers of this sport. Consequently, the United States government has authorized the hunting of some animals because they have been perceived as pests. According to Hummel, computers have also endeavored to modernize hunting sport. This has been through the use of a webcam and guns, which are remotely controlled to shoot at imagined animals. Conclusion: hunting and gathering have established a new sporting culture in our modern times. Traditionally, the gathering was mainly centered on food sustenance. However, the culture has transformed gradually, thus breeding gardening as a form of hobby. Similarly, hunting was designed to provide enough food for families. Over the centuries, the culture has shifted, thus leading to leisurely sports such as game shooting and filming, among others. Hence, hunting and gathering has become more of a sport than a game. Did you like this hunting and gathering, from past to present sample? To get more works like this one, make sure to check out the free database of academic paper examples at ivpanda.com. You will find thousands of samples for all your study needs, without even having to register.